Chief Justice David Maraga called it a day earlier on today after 18 years on the bench, with 4 of them as the head of the institution. In his final speech as Chief Justice, Maraga implored the judiciary to remain firm in protecting the rule of law in the country. The outgoing CJ, who officially retires at midnight, even warning that God would not forgive the judges and magistrates if they failed to defend the independence of the judiciary. And as Sam Ogina reports, Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu will now run the institution until a substantive Chief Justice is appointed.
A court hearing set the stage for the retirement of Chief Justice David Maraga. The Law Society of Kenya petitioning the Supreme Court to order for the retirement of Maraga's judge, Chief Justice and the Supreme Court President upon clocking 70 years Monday midnight.
It is just and lawful that an order be made that the Honorable Mr. Justice David Kenani Maraga shall be deemed as having retired from the office of Judge, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya at midnight, 11th January 2021.
The special session of the Supreme Court verdict paving the way for the handover of power to the Deputy Chief Justice to act as the Chief Justice.
A preference.
Philomena Mwilu handed a copy of the Constitution, then the judiciary flag and the status report on the judiciary. With the instruments of power handed over, the Chief Justice was derobed his official costume from the wig to the red and black robe. Putting on his black coat, Maraga would leave the Supreme Court premises as a civilian. His official car was also stripped, the official number plate and flag. The curtains closing on Maraga's 4-year stint as the Chief Justice. In his farewell speech, Maraga challenged judicial officers to remain firm protectors of the rule of law with grit. The outgoing Chief Justice firing a warning shot that laxity among judges and magistrates will be detrimental.
I want to urge that you don't let the people of Kenya down. I'm sure you live in this country and you have seen the drums of political war being beaten already. My colleagues, if you waver and do the wrong thing, and this country descends into chaos, God will never forgive you.
The CJ underpinning the significance of the rule of law as the only remedy to impunity, and that the judges have a daunting task as the custodians of the Constitution.
Without the rule of law being held in this country, nobody will be safe, and we will all be the loser. Say no to impunity and maintain the rule of law.
Maraga has had several run-ins with both the executive and the legislature. The Chief Justice sounding the alarm over what he termed as attempts to untwist the judiciary through budget cuts and legislation aimed at clawing back the gains made at the bar. Unapologetic about his bold and firm grip of shielding the judiciary, Maraga warned the stability of a country can only be equated to its fidelity to the rule of law.
Sustained economic prosperity and the long-term political stability of this nation can only be guaranteed if the rule of law reigns.
As Chief Justice, your commitment, your vision and leadership accelerated transformation in the judiciary.
Maraga has served in the judicial system for 18 years, rising from the High Court judge, appeals court judge, to the President of the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice saying his faith was the cornerstone and source of his strength when faced with trials and tribulations. It was adios amigos to the country's most controversial Chief Justice who had a checkered tenure. And even in his farewell message, Maraga's statement packed a punch, challenging the judiciary to remain steadfast and guard the rule of law. Sam Ogina, Citizen TV, Nairobi.